obviously I've got to register with a new doctor, and there's a surgery down there. So I've sort of gone into the one down there. But obviously they're supposed to, if you've got a disability or anything like that, they're supposed to assist you, forms, things like that. I can fill them in. It'll take me about 6 months to fill them in, because on that book it doesn't interest me. Anyway, as part of being registered severely disabled with the autism and the ADHD, I said that she'd have to assist me. And she said, oh, we can't help you. And I said, you do realise that there's actually laws protecting disabled people? And she completely shit herself. I told her that it was against the law what she was actually doing. Yeah, crazy, eh? She didn't have a clue what she was up to, whether the law stood. Obviously, if they didn't help disabled people, that'd be discrimination. And obviously we don't do discrimination. Everybody's equal. Well, that's what the Disability sort of Discrimination Act covers. I'm pretty well educated in it. Clearly the woman down there is not educated in it. I said, I'll have to educate you. She didn't like that. But it's true though. She didn't have a dicky bird's idea of what the law says, you know what I'm saying? Can't even remember getting in last night. That must have been fun. I know I discovered something mad, which I'll tell you about in another video. So now I've got like loads of forms to fill in. But saying that, he's literally just down the road, so that'd probably be the nearest surgery I've ever had in my life. Close to where like I live. Anyway, what was that about Harry Kane? I told you, didn't I? Exactly what I said happened. And I'm predicting it again in the next match. Harry Kane gets the winner. All the way to the final. And guess what happens in the final? Harry Kane only goes and gets the winner. Not that I saw any football. But I'll tell you a bit about that in the next video, or when I get indoors. Yeah, discovered something crazy last night, a little crazy area. Either that or I was completely off my rocker. Probably a combination of both. Anyway, big day tomorrow, get all my records back and everything basically. It's just like clarity starting to pound my brain. I know I'm not going to be able to be quite. I will have to warn Steve just to like keep out of it. There's no way I won't be able to keep quiet. Do you know what I'm saying? And rightly so, really. Anyway, about 2 minutes away. Okay. It's in the other pocket. Always do that. Reach for the wrong pocket. Oh, press the wrong button. Anyway. Right. It's cooler in here. Wow, that's going to be a hot one. Yeah, I'll tell you about what happened last night. I discovered a whole new scene, right, that goes on after midnight. It is dark, it is fucking, comes across as pretty dangerous, but trust me, I don't think it is dangerous, right? After dark, Gillingham train station and the high street becomes a different fucking animal, right? I've been walking along there, right? Stoned as that, had a few Baileys, And I could see congregations of black sort of dreadlock sort of hippies and dreadlocks, you know what I mean? Black dudes and Asians not mixing together, and they was all blasting out music, right? And I thought, this looks fucking shifty as fuck, do you know what I mean? All like looking at me, but giving me the alright, do you know what I mean? I've just waltzed in there. And there's all these different characters milling about, but there's these groups playing different sorts of music. And then, after being there for a few hours, I've worked out it's some kind of musical fucking, gangster musical fucking thing that goes on after midnight. So what I've decided, I'm going to be taking my two-ton sounds, mobile, right? Because some of them have some right mad little mobile setups. Anyway, I can play that, but out of that. But we'll be going live from down there, right? It's a different world. And I'm pretty sure it's a musical thing. It's a weed, I could smell lots of weed. Big old fucking funky dreadsters who look like they're gonna bite your head off, but in reality, big cuddly bears, man. But the different vibes I heard, right? I heard some music that sounded a bit like the Specials, but it weren't the Specials, but yeah, so I'm gonna blast a bit and they can sample some of my music. Crazy, eh? But I've got to say, outside the train station, I got talking to three geezers, and then I peeled away with one of them. He said, "Watch it round here, Phil." He said, "You sound clued up anyway." He said, "But I'll just give you the heads up." I went, "No," I said, "I'm aware of what's around me. It's all good." But yeah, I got talking to him. But then the other two geezers that he said was dodgy was just putting their hands up to me like all night when I kept seeing them. But apparently they're preying on someone at an easy target. Because what they do, apparently, they'll mug people. But I said, if he wants to come and fucking mug me, we'll go down that road. But he didn't. Plus I was bigger than them. But yeah, right, shady. But that's right outside the train station. You go into the high street, it's a different vibe. There's just dreadlock rastas smoking spliffs. And some of the fucking little sound systems that they've got on them remind me of the old Walkman days when you could get a Walkman and all these speakers you could plug into it. But yeah, I've discovered something mad down there. So what I originally come across as, it's looking a bit shifty down here, but I didn't give a fuck anyway, I was just out. To coming across a whole new musical world down there. Yeah, it was mad. You've got some white dudes down there playing some kind of hip hop sort of sound, but nothing too gangsterified. Yeah, I couldn't work out. Hang on a minute. Each of these little gangs hanging out look like they're up to no good, but really all they're doing is getting smoked up, having a spliff and a drink, and banging out their vibes. And some of the music was, there was some reggae being played, but some sort of dub reggae, real sort of early kind of vibe. But I didn't infiltrate right into them, and like they were just acknowledging me, and I was acknowledging them. But as I get to see them more, I'm going to sort of see what that's all about. Slide in there. But yeah. Mad, eh? Yeah, whole musical fucking world down there. You wait till they catch some of my tunes, man. In fact, I'm going to buy another couple of records in a minute, because tomorrow I get me record decks back. And so far, I'm going to go back to the same shop. Obviously, so far we've got these. The first press of this to catch up on. And the first press, My Girl 12-inch, catch up on that one. And more specials, first press. So they're my first records in my new house that I bought. Not that I'm staying here. Well, I'm staying here for as long as I like till I find another place. But yeah, I've got to stay in this area really, man. When I first got here, I had some dodgy stories, this, that, and the other. You hear about Medway and all that, do you know what I mean, coming from my area? They were fucking pussycats around here, man. Everybody's sweet ass. In fact, it's probably more fucking moodiness in my little village, where I've come from, than out here. No one gives a fuck out there, man. To a degree. But obviously in the village, everybody knows everyone, everyone's just bullshitting about everyone, stirring the pot, all that sort of bollocks which goes on, do you know what I mean? Who needs that in their life? No one. I've got to say, I'm really starting to enjoy it now. Now I know tomorrow I'll get all my stuff back, all my clothes, everything. Yeah. Then that's it then. I've been looking at some flats and I can work out the flats I really want. I think they're a bit out of my range. But there's a lot of like Victorian houses that have been converted into flats, and you've got your own door key, your own front door, and they have big 4 bedrooms out, they chop it all up. I think I'm going to be able to afford that option. But I'm going to look at a studio. See, I'd have to move out of Gillingham for that. I can stop on this road, right? I'd be in the house, but I'd have my own room, you know what I mean? I've got to decide what I want to do. It is good knowing that the girl that owns this house is sweet until whenever. See, this is an emergency house, do you know what I mean? And so you're here until you fix your emergency, and obviously. My only emergency is all my records that I'll be all over sorted tomorrow. And to be honest, it's not really an emergency. I'm looking for somewhere else, I can do it in my own time, find somewhere where I want, do you know what I mean? But this is, I really like it here. But I've said to the girl, can't I just rent the whole house off you? And she said that she would, but she helps people that are in emergencies like I was, and I can't knock her for that. It's like if you turned up at your council and you had nowhere to go, you'd come across someone like her who will give you a house. Providing you fit the criteria. But I was thinking, what if I don't fit the criteria, or somebody in Britain don't fit the criteria? How are all these migrants fucking fitting the criteria? That did run through my brain. They don't tick no boxes. But yeah, it's all good. Things are worked out right. I'm living probably. Yeah, I'm really enjoying my life. That's all I've got to say, really. Yeah. Let's get on my records. It's going to be mad. Catching up on what we've got, what we've not listened to. Yeah, can't even remember getting in last night. Wild night. I remember meeting loads of new people though down there. It's like a different world down there. I completely missed the football. I don't know what happened there. I think I went in one pub that was on the corner. Yeah, then I ended up at 1 in the morning, I think, 2 in the morning, down the high street, just lurching around, listening to all these different sorts of music. Yeah, it's like a whole musical thing goes on down there after dark. And some of the systems of some of these black fellas have, man, all the lights flashing on them, like the old tape recorders from the 70s. You get lots of lights bouncing about, all that kind of tackle going on. Crazy. Plenty of, I could smell plenty of weed. Which was mad. Anyway, I've got to do quite a bit today. Got to do a little bit of travelling. I just think I've just located a doctor, which is not too far away. I've got to join their practice. Anyway, whatever you're doing, have a good one. I'm back later.